Well, great to see the guys in action in Tasmania, and also good to see a big crowd turning out to support them along the way. Well, time to talk V8 Ute racing now, and a man who used to race in the category has now taken on the role as team manager. Chris Pither started his Australian racing career in the V8 Utes with the Kangaroos machine. This year, he's decided to go a different way after having to battle for sponsorship money right throughout his career. He's taken on the role as team manager and advisor to upcoming drivers. And he's joining us here in the studio. Chris, good to catch up with you again.
Thanks for having me.
So, why no drive this year? Why team manager?
Well, I thought it might have been easy, but it's not. I'm flat out, to tell you the truth, managing the Chris Pither Scholarship and the Ice Break racing team, as well as preparing for the Enduros with Wilson Security and BJR later in the year, which is pretty exciting. So the reason that I'm not driving this year is first and foremost the scholarship program that I put into place towards the end of last season. I looked at it from the point of view that I was very fortunate, I guess, to get an opportunity from the team at an Ice Break during 2010 season to get a drive. I hadn't raced here in Australia for 2 years, nearly 2 years up to that point, and they were prepared to give me a crack, and I was fortunate enough to be able to step into that position, I guess, and make the most of it. I was rapt to have taken the team to a championship last year. And I decided that I'd like to try and pass that opportunity on to a couple of other young guys that possibly had demonstrated they've got the ability, but not the resources. So that's the reason for the scholarship.
Because it has been an interesting career for you. Obviously, you've got the driving talent. You've raced in a variety of categories, and you've been successful in each. And you got a very big help with the kickstart to your career here in Australia via Kangaroos and Alan Porter and the team. And Alan, if you're watching this evening, good to catch up with you, or we must do that in the not too distant future, but they gave you a very big start into the industry, and this is something you're now trying to pass on to young drivers coming through the ranks?
Yeah, definitely. I've been fortunate. The number of people throughout my career have given me a couple of breaks, which have obviously gotten me to where I am today, and definitely more recently the Ice Break opportunity is kick-started my career here again in Australia, and originally with Kangaroos, that was my initiation, I guess, into the motorsport scene over here in Australia. So there's been a lot of people that have been prepared to give me a crack, so I can do what I love to do, and I'm very grateful for that, and I just thought it would be a great way to pass it on. I know what it's done for me, and hopefully it does the same for another few young guys, and hopefully kickstart it for them.
So what was the plan for the scholarship? What were you going to do driver-wise for this year? I know you've had Jesse Dixon in the car, and what's the plan for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we've selected three young guys at the moment. Two of them, Jesse and Tom Williamson, will do 2 rounds each, and also awarded the winner of the New Zealand V8 Championship to come across and compete at the next round at Darwin. So Andrew Wade, who won the championship there, will jump in the ute up at Darwin in a few weeks' time, and we'll see how he goes.
Well, you're not driving a ute this year, but fortunately you have picked up a run in a V8 supercar for the Enduros. You tested at Phillip Island 2 weeks ago. That must have been tough. How long has it been since we've seen you in a V8 supercar?
Yeah, it's been 4 years now since I had that accident at Bathurst back in 2008. So it was a long time, but and it was a very unfortunate situation, and probably the mentally most hardest thing I've been through. I'm glad I sort of put that behind me now, and I think it's probably made me who I am today, and I think I'm hungrier and I've worked harder to get back there now. It's taken 4 years, which is a very long time, and hopefully it's onwards and upwards from here. Well,
just before you do put that totally behind you, let's talk about that, because it wasn't just another crash in a car at Mount Panorama. This one struck very close to home, not dissimilar to the Mark Porter incident that we saw in the development series a few years before. Of course, you and Alan and the entire Kangaroo outfit very close to the Porter family, obviously. And this really did play on your mind a great deal. What did you do within yourself to overcome that so that you can go out at Bathurst this year and be the race car driver that you need to be?
Yeah, it was was unbelievably tough, and it did take me a long time to get over it. I didn't race a car for quite some time, and just went to work every day as a fitter turner, and I had a lot of time to think about it, riding my push bike to work every day. So it was very tough, but I'm confident with what I did, and I don't think there's any way to avoid the situation, and I'm prepared as anything now to go back there and have another go. I did the 12-hour earlier in the year in the racer industry's Astra, and we had a great result there, and I love the Bathurst circuit. It's definitely my favourite, and I've raced there a number of times in the Ute now as well, so I'm looking forward to the challenge and can't wait to get back there in a supercar.
And that 12-hour was a fascinating race too. I mean, you guys finished in the top 10 very well, and sitting in front of the top 10, and defeated a lot of cars that you weren't expected to beat home. But the most interesting point was, here am I cruising down pit lane doing the coverage for Speed, and all of a sudden I look over and who's the refueler in the Astra? None other than Chris Pither.
Yeah.
What was going on there? It was a very small team, and you obviously took up any role that you could to keep the car out on the track. That's not what we usually see from ego-driven race car drivers, if I may say.
No, it's not. You know, we were a small team and on a tight budget, and at the end of the day we were all there doing it because we love motorsport, and whatever had to be done was done. We just grabbed what we needed and got stuck in. So it got the job done, and we got the result out of it. So it was a great weekend. I loved the event, and hopefully I can get back there again next year. And
good to attack the Mount Panorama circuit and get a feel for it again.
For sure, yeah. It was a little bit different in a turbocharged front-wheel drive Astra, but nonetheless it was a lot of fun, and you know, I don't think it matters what you drive around that circuit. It's something special.
Now, your next outing at Mount Panorama is going to be with the Wilson Securities V8 Supercar with David Wall. This is a really good combination because you know David is a very consistent driver and will be doing everything he can to finish the race. You're that sort of a driver too, where you stay out of harm's way more often than not, and look after the car. Is that going to be the key for you guys, strategy-wise, for this year?
Yeah, for sure. Like, at the end of the day, you have to finish the race first and foremost, and that's how we played the championship last year as well. At different times, we might not have been the quickest, but we were definitely the most consistent, and we didn't have any DNFs last year. We had one close DNF at Darwin when the front of the ute got ripped off, but we managed to salvage a result from that and made it through the season without not finishing a race. So definitely going to Bathurst, that will be first and foremost priority, and hopefully we can gain a solid result from there.
Well, Chris, always a pleasure to catch up with you. Good luck with the Ute team, the Icebreak team, and also good luck with the V8 Supercar. We'll keep in contact with you and see how things pan out.
Thank you very much.
Here he is, Chris Pither, joining us on the program to talk about what's going on for him this year, and keep an eye out for him when we get time for the Bathurst 1000. We'll be back after the break with more here on Inside Speed.